All right, hello everyone. It's me and Bag, and today I had another idea for a podcast. This time we're going to be looking through the BDS list for Israel. Now, unfortunately, I talked to Bag here. Apparently, there is no equivalent for Russia. If there is an equivalent for any other place in the world, we'd be willing to look through it and talk about it. But we're going to be looking at the list of companies that apparently are Israel's strongest soldiers, with an uncanny amount of fast food restaurants on the list.
Yes. Zionist Mickey D's. Let's go.
Yeah. It's like Zionist's strongest allies getting burgers in 30 minutes.
All right, let's see the list.
All right, let me get this up. So let me get the stream up and let me see what companies we'd have to stop buying from in order to stop Israel. Apparently, I'm just breaking out.
I think we're gonna see a lot of stuff we see on a regular basis.
Oh, so by the way, there is no Starbucks here. By the way. Oh wait. Can you see the stream?
That hasn't since 2003. That they were one of the biggest supporters of Israel, and it just wasn't true. It shows you the power of internet memes.
Yeah. I mean, not even BDS has Starbucks. That's like one thing, because I know you even said on Twitter, it's like, oh, Starbucks doesn't support Israel. Stop this. Like, one thing that there's one thing that I think immediately stands out upon looking at this list. I wonder what it is. You still there?
Not active there at all. Like that's.
Wait, what'd you say? I'm having trouble hearing you. Oh my god! Fucking Hamas is targeting my fucking microphone, or Israel. Who knows? I don't know who's angry about this. Okay, there we go. Fucking Yahoo's targeting my fucking microphone because he doesn't want me to see the companies. Okay, so there's one thing that immediately stands out to me on this list. There is no defense contractors at all on the list.
Weird. Yeah. I mean, to be fair, there have been pro-Palestine types who've tried to bomb those, but it's a tiny group of maniacs. I guess we don't buy from.
Yeah. What'd you say? Wait, something is weird with the microphone.
Still, it would make more sense to have those.
Yeah, it's like one thing. It's like one thing is weird. Comes on the list. Every single fast food restaurant is there, but no military companies. And no airlines either.
Well, I guess that's part.
And no cargo ship transport companies.
I mean, you're going to give up flying to a signal of Palestine? I mean, come on.
No. But the point is that, the point is, well, who the fuck's going to give up Amazon? Okay, that's not really a point. The point is that the companies, on this list seem weird, because, it's, I also find it weird
Airbnb,
Yeah, Airbnb.
I guess it's because they offer postings in Israel and in the West Bank. So
that's probably the reason, if I were to guess. But isn't it kind of funny that every single fast food restaurant is here, but no military companies or no airlines or no even ship companies?
Yeah, it is really weird. And I guess it's easier to boycott Mickey D's as an average citizen
than it is to boycott air travel. Yeah.
I mean, come on. Like I said, I don't think anyone is going to give up traveling by air to score brownie points among other leftists about Palestine.
That's completely fair, but it's also not to mention the fact that like this website, Google companies like Google and Amazon are still pretty important to people's lives. And the thing is that the company that, at least according to their website, I think I already looked this up, they target not only people who buy the stuff, but also people who work there. And they say they target both civilian and military aid. So they don't. I'm not sure you look at the website, but they have no explanation as to why they don't have defense companies on the list.
And like my best guess again for an explanation is that we as average citizens don't buy from those, but we use a lot of the stuff they make in everyday life. Like again, flying on Boeing planes and the like.
Yeah,
So again,
Boeing
it's
is a really good
just
example.
easier to purchase
Boeing is a
by
very
boycotting these.
no. But the thing is that I understand, but like, if you worked there, you could still logically get people to like not work at these companies because, like, again, the website claims it's to just talk about both employment and buying from there. Obviously, the average person is not going to buy a Boeing 777, but they can still, some of them may be Boeing employees.
Yeah, they can boycott people who work there, and weird.
Yeah. But I also do seriously question if boycotting companies that support Israel is a very effective maneuver when the American government and a large part of the American population still support Israel. I feel like for the stuff I feel like for a boycott of a company to work, you actually have to have the majority of people on your side. Because if anything, because the problem is, like, I don't think boycotting companies when you don't have most people on your side really works, because what happens is that when you boycott companies, everyone that supports, let's say every single Palestine supporter boycotted and tried to economically destroy every company that supports Israel. Well, then every single person who's pro-Israel would associate those companies with Israel, and they would come to their defense. So the problem is that I don't think boycotts like work unless you have the majority of a population of a specific country on your side.
I mean, like, come on, good luck getting people to boycott Google and Amazon. I mean, like, what are they going to do?
Yeah. To be fair, they
Anti-worker.
put yeah. To be fair, they put Google and Amazon under pressure targets and not direct boycott, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, come on, do anything to those.
Yeah, that is
Those are
completely
too big
fair.
and play too much of a role in our everyday lives.
Yeah. But in general, I don't think boycotting companies works unless you have the majority of people on your side. A really good example, I think a funny example of this is like another funny example is like, because the problem is that when you boycott people for like contentious issues, it usually just helps the company because everyone on the other side will come to their defense. It's kind of what happened, the kind of example is what happened with Bud Light. Are you still
Big
there?
stink over just some dumb ad that Bud Light put out.
Yeah, like everyone made a stink over Bud Light making an ad, and there's a big boycott. But like, how much did that truly do?
I mean, I guess they withdrew the ad with the trans person. Yes, that's
I mean, they withdrew the ad, but like, do they truly like lose a lot of money over that situation? Like,
yeah, I don't think it had that much of effect in that
yeah.
regard.
I mean, but getting someone to withdraw an ad is like, yeah, like whatever. But then again, you have to understand, like, they probably like the company probably wanted that because like, people make a big stink over them, and the other side will come around and buy stuff from them anyway. So if anything, they probably benefited from that. Like, realistically speaking, like,
Yeah, no, it's because
see, like when you thrust companies into the culture war, it usually benefits them because there are millions of people who come. They gain a lot more customers than they lose. Like, just like,
yeah, because people just want to have their beer. I mean, come on.
yeah. That's completely fair, and I think that's the whole reason why I don't really think boycotting companies works. And if anything, to me, boycotting companies feels more like an easy way to grandstand than to actually do anything. Like because boycotting, if you stop shopping at a company, you could say you did something. Well, realistically, not actually doing that much. Also, when you think about it, that the U.S. government would bail these companies out if they were to no, also, wouldn't it be logical that the American government would bail these companies out if they still support Israel? So this whole thing
I
would
mean,
be
yeah, like
counterproductive.
among other
And if
things,
anything, not buying from companies, because if anything, completely cutting off companies because they support Israel. If anything, it's going to make the opposite. It's going to make them more dependent on pro-Israel people for their sales, which will probably make them double down.
yeah, absolutely. And I don't, like you said, there's not enough. That's why BDS isn't effective. There's not enough people who would boycott these companies to have much of an effect on their bottom line. Like I notice among the big consumer boycott targets are Chevron. I mean,
Yeah.
are people going to stop buying gas in order?
Yeah.
About going to work very well. HP
Yeah.
computers, like, and some of the few things of any consequence I see is SodaStream and Ahava, which are Israeli companies.
Okay, those two are understandable because not many Americans buy from them. So
Yeah, I
if
mean, like, there
Americans,
is a market, but it's not ubiquitous, like say Amazon or Papa John's.
no, yeah. If you were a pro-Palestine movement, boycotting SodaStream might actually make sense. They are an Israeli company and they don't have an enormous base in America, so that could potentially work. Now, it could potentially have the same negative polarization that I mentioned before, but I highly doubt it's going to come into effect for a
Israel.
company
I mean,
that's
I don't
that
think they're a
small.
particularly large.
The problem is I don't even think they're a
Israel.
large enough company to take advantage of any sort of negative polarization. So I think that might not be just like logically speaking, if you're doing that. So I think what I'm gonna do is I think I'm gonna go and look at the description and read what they say about all the individual companies. Yeah. And I also have to mention the fact of how many people on Twitter literally have boycotts that end at a certain date, which is just bad strategy. Wait, what the fuck? Where'd he go? Oh, I think he left. Alright, well, let's just give him a minute, yeah. Okay, I'm just gonna wait for Zen to peg because somebody got his mic. Yeah. There he is. Alright, you back?
Hurt Israel's economy very much on its own, at least, or Ahava.
Yeah.
Like, you'd have to go after arms companies and the like.
Yeah, the thing is that if you really wanted to hurt Israel's war effort in Gaza, the only way to do that is to if you were to actively disrupt arms shipments, block ships and planes from going to Israel, that might actually work because you're making all the weapons come to them slower. Okay, that might actually work, realistically speaking. But the problem is that I don't even think boycotting companies is going to do very much when the government is still on the side of Israel. It doesn't really make sense to me. It doesn't really feel like you have the cards to do that.
Yeah, that's the thing. And again, if you tried to do stuff like block
Wait, why is your mic dying
dangerous,
again?
you'd be putting yourself in the most danger that way.
Yeah,
I'm
and
not
that's
sure.
Okay,
Yeah,
well
no,
now it
it's like
works.
I'm
Now
just
now it
using my
works.
computer.
Now it works fine.
I don't know
Now
what's
it
going on.
works. Okay, now it's fine. Okay, so I kind of want to go. Look at the list. It's like people of conscience in the world are rightfully shattered and raged. It's like being powerless about Israel's genocide. Many feel compelled to boycott. Their ties to Israel. The proliferation of boycott lists on social media as a result of this. The question is how to make boycotts effect. Oh wait, no. Wait, this is actually no. Boycott. Okay. The biggest movement is historically successful targeted boycotts inspired by the South African anti-apartheid movement, the U.S. civil rights movement, the Indian anti-colonial movement, among others. There's a lot to unpack there. First of all, I'm not really sure. I'm going to say this, but like, was there a movement to boycott literally any company that did business in South Africa? Did that even exist?
I mean, there was something like it, but South Africa was generally an international pariah, and it wasn't. I don't think those boycotts had too much of an effect. It was the isolation and sanctions from
Yeah.
major powers that ultimately ended apartheid.
The thing is that like South Africa didn't, but the South Africa like the way South Africa fell is because like we actively got like Western governments to boycott them. It's not because of like anything that people did with like not buying from companies. It's also have to mention the fact that in South Africa actually got around a lot of sanctions through like third party countries as well. There was a famous plane crash.
And yeah,
There
Russia
was a
still does
Go
that
ahead.
as well to this day. It's kind of easy to circumvent those sanctions.
Yeah, it's kind of easier than you think to circumvent sanctions. Also, like South Africa, if we're talking about South Africa, like there's a famous plane crash called I think it's like South African Airways 295, like a Boeing 747 crashed over the middle of the ocean, and there were a lot of like accusations that like that plane was like carrying weapons that were that caused the plane to crash in the first place. So it's kind of a point.
I mean, there
South
were a
Africa
couple of,
did. Go ahead.
well, yeah, like there were several such plane shoot down incidents in the 80s. I mean, you'd have to get a bit more specific.
Yeah. No, this was an accident. This wasn't like a shoot down. This was more like they
It
were
wasn't a
carrying
shoot down,
weapons
but
in the
it,
plane that caused it. That
the,
supposedly caused the
the
plane to crash.
issue was it was supposedly carrying
Yeah, it was supposedly
weapons
carrying
for
smuggled
South
weapons that
Africa.
they didn't tell the pilots about, so that caused the plane to crash. That's what they think happened. Yeah.
And it
So
just
that's
waited that interesting.
so that's
State
kind of
level and protocol. Like aside from that, you're just signaling.
yeah. The point is like okay, and obviously didn't exist for the Indians. Okay, well India mostly gained independence because the British were exhausted at the end of World War II. The Civil Rights Act was broadly
Yeah.
popular when it was
Oh, and
passed,
it's like, yeah, they were
and
in the fall of apartheid. I forgot to mention was the end of the Cold War. Like a lot of Western powers had tacitly.
I don't know what. No, I can't hear you again.
Work against communism in Southern Africa, and as South Africa lost that support, so there was a lot more than just these personal boycotts of bad quote unquote
Yeah, that's
companies.
fair. The point is that boycotting like corporations, like when is boycotting every single company that does business in a country when you actively don't even have your own government on your side? What has it ever really worked? Like that's a serious question. I do not see an example in history where that has actually worked. I don't have any evidence of it. Like
And there is none, and that's what the S in BDS is for. They're trying to get governments to sanction Israel, which, I mean, I do fail to see how you're going to bring that about by, I don't know,
yeah,
not buying Amazon or something.
yeah. I feel like if you wanted to get sanctions on Israel, if that was your primary goal, then why are you targeting companies? Why not just go straight for the government? Like why waste time on boycotting companies? Why not just go straight for the American government? Like
Yeah, that's like I think the only way to effectively get that is to elect politicians who would put sanctions on Israel. I think that's the only way to accomplish that goal.
yeah, that would be the only way to actually do that. All right, so we're gonna move down. I want to see like what they say about it.
Let's see.
I mean, it's not necessarily okay. Yeah. But it is what you say. And then also, like, it also says we must strategically focus on a relatively small number of carefully selected companies and products for maximum impact. We need to target companies play a clear and direct role in Israel's crimes where there is real potential for winning. This is the case among others. Deforest, Velia, Orange, Ben and Jerry's, and Pillsbury. Compelling large complicit companies who strategic and context-sensitive boycotts. Yeah, so it's kind of funny. It's like, it also said, but it's like funny. They say that they're like very like carefully targeted and selected, even though like there's clearly like it's like in all the holes I said before, like they say they're very clearly and selectively targeted like companies like that are like let me check. What the hell? Oh. Let me have a
Let's
look.
see.
But I honestly didn't focus on this. I was looking at this a little bit, but the point is that they make it out to be if their companies are like very carefully selected, but like there's a number of obvious holes because it's not like they're posting like it's not like they're posting every single company that supports Israel as like they see themselves as a very small percentage of the companies that actually support them. So like if they claim the list is so carefully selected, then why are there so many obvious holes?
Yeah, and I fail to see how careful this is because, and again, it's companies that don't really have that much of an impact in the grand scheme of things. Like they mentioned Ben and Jerry's. I mean, come on. I don't think ice cream is very
No. They actually, to be fair, but they actually support Ben and Jerry's because Ben and Jerry's is very anti-Israel and also pro-Russian as well, from what I've heard.
Yeah, no, they're fucked up. I mean, I almost want to boycott them for the Russia stuff. It's pretty gross.
I mean, I wouldn't necessarily do that because I said before I don't think boycotting companies works.
Yeah, it doesn't really do very much, but still.
Yeah. But again, it's to mention. But the point is, Ben and Jerry's actually on their side. It's not.
So yeah, let's see. Carefully think.
Yeah. That's what a company or product may make perfect sense as a boycott target in one context or city, but not another. It's context sensitivity, regardless of well limited. It's an intersectional movement that connects Palestinian liberation with all those stuff. We're ever getting boycotting companies that are involved in oppressing other communities as well. That I feel like you should make a list of companies that support Israel and then make other lists about those other issues.
And I would again go after the ones that have significant ties with Israel and where this kind of boycott could actually hurt their bottom line, and that would be easy to get.
Yeah.
People on board.
Yeah. So let's look at the individual companies and what they say about the individual companies. I want to say if they're really as selective and as careful as they make it out to be. So, consumer boycott targets. So, let's see. Oh, we don't want to see consumer boycott. Hewlett Packard. Hewlett Packard provides services to the offices of genocide leaders. Israel's PM Netanyahu with Financial Minister Smotrich. HPE which shares the same brand, provides technology for Israel's population and immigration authority, a pillar of its apartheid regime. Wait. So they want to boycott a company that gave, like, how does, but like, Hewlett Packard is a computer making company, like, right? Are you there? Oh. There we go. No, it's okay. So wait. So it says, okay, Hewlett Packard provides services to the offices of genocide leader Israel PM Netanyahu and Finance Minister Smotrich. HB, which shares the same brand, provides technology for Israel's Population Immigration Authority, a pillar of its apartheid regime. Wait, so wait, like, isn't Hewlett Packard a computer making company?
Yeah. No, like, yeah, they're pretty big in the computer business.
Yeah, what's really funny is that even like HP, I literally looked it up. HP itself literally said that the BDS is full of shit, and they basically said there's a bunch of misinformation there. Kind of a he said, she said situation, but that's kind of whatever. Hewlett Packard literally.
Yeah, no,
it's funny that HP literally just said, "Oh, this is fucking bullshit." And to be fair, it's kind of a he said, she said situation. They wouldn't take everything a company says at face value. But then again, the fact that like the fact that an American company is willing to literally go out of its way to say that we don't support Israel is something.
It is. And I'm curious as to their version of this, because
okay, so I don't want to make this podcast 3 hours, so I'm not going to go into all the detail of every single company. But it's kind of crazy about the fact that HP itself literally just said this is full of shit. And while I normally wouldn't take corporations at face value, the fact that a corporation is literally going out of its way to say it doesn't support Israel is kind of insane, especially with the current political climate. Especially with Trump in charge of the White House.
It's a worrying sign for supporters of Israel, I'll say.
Oh, it definitely is. But the fact that a company is willing to go out of its way to tell the American people, "Oh, we don't support Israel," I mean, that's like kind of crazy to think about. It kind of just shows maybe this is a lot sloppier than it's made out to be.
Yeah, so I don't. The call for BDS against HP had much effect because, well, they just made clear, look, we don't do this.
Yeah, so it's clear it's like, oh, we don't do this, but, you know, the fact that, you know, again, don't take what companies say at face value, but yeah, that's kind of crazy to talk about. So I'm not going to go into this because I make this podcast last 3 hours, whatever. Okay, Chevron.
Yeah, it's going to be a long one.
United States fossil fuel multinational Chevron is a main corporation extracting gas claimed by Israel in the East Mediterranean. Chevron generates billions in revenue, straightening Israel's war chest and apartheid system, exaggerating climate change in the Gaza Sea, and it's supposed to be depriving the Palestinian people the right to sovereignty over their natural resources. Chevron has thousands of retail gas stations around the world under Chevron, Caltex, Texaco brand names. Wait, so they want to boycott Chevron because Chevron is like bought oil from Israel? How's that going to work?
That's what it sounds like to me.
Wait, it's like how, I mean, like, but how is Chevron gonna buy the oil from Palestine? Like, how is that even possible? Like, you, like, so you just expect them to like stop drilling oil?
I mean, come on.
Yeah, it's like that's not gonna do literally anything. Like, it's like I understand like people who like don't like fossil fuels, but like in this particular context, it's like very stupid. It's like how you expect Chevron to do anything different? Like, how does like them buying oil from Israel like relevant in any of this? Like,
and like, do you expect people to go out of the non-Chevron gas station when their tank is low? I mean, I don't think that's going to do very much either way.
No, that's not going to do very much. All right, let's move down. Siemens. Siemens is the main contractor for the Euro-Asia
Yeah.
Interconnector, an Israel-EU submarine electricity cable that is planned to connect Israel's settlements in the occupied Palestinian territory to Europe. Wait.
Siemens branded electrical appliances are sold globally. Okay, so again, that's the hard brands to avoid.
Yeah, but that's also not to mention. But also, like, the reason to boycott them is like very like small. It's like they're giving electricity to Israeli settlements. I mean, like, that's not gonna do very much. It's like, oh yeah, because one random company in Europe pulls out, then it means that all the Israeli settlements are gonna lose power, and all the settlements in the West Bank are just gonna go off because apparently some people boycotted the company that provides electricity to them, which apparently Israel couldn't just do by themselves. Like, okay. Didn't they just say that Israel was selling oil? Yeah. What's also very funny is I just looked this up. Siemens was also accused of boycotting Israel as well. Wait, are you there? Did you hear what I said? Apparently, the American government also investigated as to whether Siemens was boycotting Israel. But they can't catch a break. Yeah. I literally looked it up, and I literally said, Siemens accused of supporting boycott of Israel. So like, it's like that poor German company can't catch a break.
Yeah, you can't win either way.
Yeah, it's like they're getting fucking targeted by both sides. It's the funniest
I wonder
thing.
if it had anything to do with them being mentioned in this.
Yeah, probably. I'm not sure. If I were to guess, it's probably because they're a company that wants to make money, and so they did business with people who support Israel. They did business with people who don't support Israel, because that's how companies work.
Yeah, I mean, and a lot of people still support Israel, so it's pretty common. I mean,
Yeah. The problem is, unless like 80% of the population doesn't support Israel, you're not going to get this kind of thing to work. And I've already been saying this. Like, it's like, so let's say, what's Carry 4? Carry 4 has supported Israel soldiers partaking in the genocide with gifts of personal packages. In 2022, an partnership, the Israeli company Electra and a subsidiary, both of which are involved in grave violations. Okay, that's not an unreasonable company to boycott if you're anti-Israel, mainly because, like, not only is it's not necessarily a huge company, but it's also a company that, is actually supporting the Israeli war effort as opposed to just doing business in Israel.
Yeah, so like I think we'll give them that. I think we can give them that.
We could hand that one to them because, okay, that's reasonable. Like, that's, if you were anti-Israel, then that would be perfectly reasonable
Yeah,
company
that's a
to
reasonable target.
boycott.
It's not too big a company, so
Yeah.
you can turn anti-Israel people against that one.
Yeah. So you could turn anti. I mean, it's like, yeah. So yeah, reasonable. Like, reasonable. Okay, we can give them that one. Um, Insurance giant AXA in France invested in Israeli banks financing war crimes at the Palestinian lands and natural resources. When Russia invaded Ukraine, AXA took targeted measures against it. AXA has taken no action against Israel. I guess that makes sense if you were supporting Israel. Now, if I want to hear my honest opinion, I'm kind of 50-50. I don't know. I don't really care much about Israel Palestine, but I obviously support Ukraine. I think you're also like that, Zensifag, but
Same, yeah.
The thing is, okay, I guess if you were like, but is there a reason to boycott a company? Like you're gonna stop, like I understand, I understand if you were pro-Palestine going up and pressuring this company, but like boycotting them completely, I mean, kind of silly, but okay, we can hand it to that one. We can hand this one to them.
Yeah. Moral consistency and the like.
Yeah. Okay.
And we talked about SodaStream, which is an Israeli company and is special interest area.
Yeah, SodaStream is okay. They're an Israeli company. Okay, that's probably reasonable. It's like okay, yeah. If you okay, Hava is also an Israeli company. Yeah. Remax US markets and sells property in illegal Israeli settlements built on stolen Palestinian land, thus enabling Israel's colonization of the occupied West Bank. Okay. Wait, but Remax is a real estate company. Wait, how could boycotting an American real estate company stop Israeli settlements? Like what? How does that make any sense?
Doesn't make sense to me. I guess the point might be, you want to isolate those settlements economically.
Yeah. But also, it's kind of funny. Don't these people like actively believe that real estate companies are bad for the people that they buy from them? Don't like leftists actively hate these companies because they're bad for the people that live in the areas that they come to?
I mean, yeah, it's like there's almost no need for this list. I mean, leftists tend to hate big corporations either way.
Yeah, useless. Like useless. But it makes no sense considering the fact that considering how useless. Okay, makes no sense. Apparently, it says boycott produce from Israel in your supermarket and demand the removal from shelves. Okay. I guess if you were doing something like this, then okay. But like,
I don't think looking through which oranges on your supermarket shelves say grown in Israel is gonna do very much.
Yeah. I guess, not gonna do very much either.
I mean, again, those are the main things that are grown in Israel: oranges and like cherry tomatoes.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because of the climate. Like, Israel's like a Mediterranean climate, so yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Elbit Systems is an Israeli military company, so yeah.
There's that, but I'm not sure.
If they include Israel, if they include Israel's military if they include an Israeli military company, why are there no American military companies on the list? Like, don't these people think that Israel would not be doing anything if not for the U.S.? Now, I don't agree with that, but these people clearly think that. So it's kind of weird that these people, they don't include American companies on this list if they think America is like America could just end this at the top of a hat, and they won't. I mean, it's like honestly I kind of doubt that. Honestly, I don't necessarily agree with them. I think if Trump wanted to end the Israel-Palestine war, I think he fucking would. Like, I don't even think Trump is Netanyahu's strongest ally. I seriously believe that I don't think Trump gives a flying fuck about Israel. I seriously think that if Trump could end the Israel-Palestine war and take the credit for it, he'd do it at the snap of his fucking fingers. I mean, he literally promised that about Russia, Ukraine. Like, he'd obviously do that if he could.
Well, but the thing is, you really can't end the war at the snap of fingers. Trump is very addicted to this idea. I just have to make a couple of phone calls to the right people. Boom, war over. And no, that's not how it works at all.
No, but the point is that people people on the left think that Israel would just instantly stop going to war if the U.S. just snapped its fingers, and that no, that's why. Oh, it's like oh, the genocide's also like backed by the U.S. Like no, I really don't think that. Like I like it's like regardless of how much Americans are pro-Israel, I don't think
No,
Americans have
it's
any
not
like
true.
America has no interest in Gaza. Like I seriously don't believe that in any way, and I seriously believe that if Trump actually could like end the Israel-Palestine war on the snap of his fingers, I think he genuinely would. I mean, it's like he fucking promised that Russia, Ukraine, and if he could actually end the war, he'd be getting cheers in the fucking streets, which is probably what he wants the most.
We're gonna right, and the thing is, I don't support. I don't even think his hardcore supporters take that literally. I mean, oh, it's just rhetoric, but he does have a plan to end it, and he doesn't really. He's again addicted to a quick, flashy deal that's not going to come. Anyway, let's keep moving down.
Yeah. Intel has announced that it will be investing $25 billion in Israel, signaling its commitment to bolstering Israel. The company's first development center outside the U.S. was operated in Haifa in 1974. For decades, Intel has invested in Israel. Its plan is built on Palestinian land within the boundaries of the Palestinian region of Iraq, al-Man Shia. It was ethnically cleansed and razed to the ground, and then replaced by Israeli settlement of Kiryat Gat. Okay, it seems like they're just doing business in Israel like any other company, not really an effective target. Are you still there? Who is Spider-Man? Oh, hello?
Yeah, I was gonna. Hello.
Are you there?
Yeah, lay it on us.
We got a number one victory royale. Yeah, Fortnite, we bout to get down. Get down. 10 kills on the board right now. Just wiped out Tomato Town. My friend just gone down. I revived him. Now we're heading southbound. Now we're in the Pleasant Park streets. Look at the map. Go to the mark sheet. Take me to the Xbox to play Fortnite.
Hey, who are you? I'm just gonna move you to
Take me
the
60 miles,
stage.
but not like I really want to. Chuck Chuck
Here.
Ha! We're gonna boycott that guy off the stage. Except it actually works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god. All right. So as I was going to say about Intel, are they calling entire Israeli cities settlements?
Yeah.
That's insane. That's ridiculous.
Wait, what's Kiryat Gat? I wonder where that is.
That's a city in the internationally recognized borders of Israel. It's like about midway between the West Bank and Gaza.
Wait, Kiryat Gat isn't even close to the West Bank.
It's not.
Dude, I'm pretty sure Kiryat Gat was in the UN partition borders.
It is. It's right in the middle of those.
Yeah.
So that's their grievance against Intel for building something in the recognized parts of Israel.
Yeah. And also, the village that they say it was built on was depopulated after the 1948 Arab-Israeli War.
Yeah, and to see just how much of it was built of Kiryat Gat was built on the ruins of that.
Yeah, I do genuinely wonder if that's actually true.
again, this is getting kind of dubious. I mean, not as intel.
Well, actually, Iraqam and Shinia was in the territory allotted to the Arab state under the 1947 partition plan. Actually, no, it was captured by Israel during the Arab-Israeli wars. Actually, yes. Kiryat Gat was established on the land taken in that area after the Arab-Israeli War. Are you still there? Oh, wait, where did you go? Okay, so I'm just going to give additional context here. So it is...
I keep getting disconnected.
Yeah. But also, like, you still there?
Connection. I mean... All right, so you're saying...
No, the point is that if you were to read this, you would think that they're making it out to be as if they're building a plant on a West Bank settlement. The problem is that the land that they're talking about where the plant is that was taken during the Arab-Israeli War. That land was taken in the 40s. Like, it's long, past.
So, I mean, like, they have to decide whether that's long gone. And so, again, this movement insists that the goal is not to destroy Israel state, or at least not its primary goal, but still, they attack companies for building stuff in the actual borders of Israel.
Yeah, in Israel, because the thing is that, you'd think that they're building on a West Bank settlement, with the way they're talking, but, like, this was during the Arab-Israeli War. Like, this place has been around since Israel first existed. Like, so it's a little weird they make it out to be unique, but it really isn't. Like, this is a very easy search of the history of this town. Like, all right, so we're gonna go down. Machinery from Hyundai, Volvo, Caterpillar, and JCB has been used by Israel in their ethnic cleansing and forced displacement of Palestinians through destruction of their homes, farms, and businesses, as well as the construction of illegal settlements at land stolen from them, a war crime under international law. Not very effective. So apparently, like, Israel would not be able to destroy homes in the West Bank if not for American companies? Okay. That's probably useless. Were you still there? Hey, that's a bike. Could you hear me? Oh my lord. Wait, idiots? Hello? Bro, I don't know what the fuck is going on with this mic. Good fucking lord. There we go. Hello? Hey, hello?
Are you
There
there?
you are. Yeah, I can hear you. Okay, like,
I can't
okay.
hear you.
Hello? Yeah, can you hear me? Hey, hello, are you there? Hello?
Hmm.
Hey, can you hear me? Hey, you still there? All right, let me remove you and re-invite you. Hello?
Oh, okay. I can hear you now.
Okay, yeah. So I'm gonna say this is useless. It's like all they're saying is machinery was found displacing people in the West Bank. But like, do they sell? Do they sell that? Do they sell
Do they
vehicles
sell? Yeah, I
directly
mean,
to these?
like, there's a lot of third-party buyers they can get this stuff from, and a lot of sources for parts.
Yeah, so not really much you could do about it. Like, I seriously don't think Israel's just gonna stop being able to make bulldozers as soon as they're like not like. So apparently
If we don't
Israel will
buy
not be able to
Hyundai cars,
demolish
I mean, come on.
settlements. Yeah, silly. Doesn't make a lot of sense. It's very easy to get stuff like this third party. Doesn't make a lot of sense to boycott because of that reason. They would almost certainly just go around it and go to a third party buyer.
Yeah, when it's spare parts, there's dozens of those on global black markets.
Yeah. Useless.
Useless. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, Barclays Bank.
Barclays Bank holds more than 1 billion in shares of, and provides more than 3 billion loans and underwriting to 9 companies whose weapons, components, and military technology have been used in Israel's violence. Okay, then why don't they list the military companies specifically who they're
Yeah,
lending to?
let's try boycotting those. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I mean, let's look it up. I mean, these are companies they're actively calling to divest from. So they're calling to divest through a bank that provides loans to military companies, but not actually naming the companies on this list themselves. Like, okay,
That seems kind of
very,
counterproductive.
very nonsensical. Um, yeah. CAF, Basque transport firm CAF builds and services the Jerusalem Light Rail, a tram line that serves Israel's illegal settlements in Jerusalem. LOL.
Oh my god.
Useless. Useless. Oh,
Useless.
you don't like the fact that Israel built stuff in Jerusalem, so you're gonna punish a company that builds rail cars around Jerusalem. I thought this was targeted like intelligently. Oh my god.
Yeah,
Seems like
God,
it's written in
that
like
makes no
it's
sense.
written in third seems like this written to like seems like it was written to just pass a fucking class. Jesus Christ.
My God. And again,
Yeah,
how are you supposed to
boycott.
boycott
It's like,
this?
oh,
Not
you know,
ride
oh,
trains?
it's
I
like,
mean,
it's like, oh yeah, no, we're just not gonna build trains in Israel. That'll own the Israelis. Like, totally. Yeah. So
yeah, no, it's
now
instead
those
like,
Israelis won't be able to get around without trains.
yeah. And of course, some other company might step in again that's ideologically pro-Israel. So who knows?
Yeah. Yeah. Chevron, U.S. fossil fuel multinational Chevron is a main international corporation extracting gas claimed by Israel in the East Mediterranean.
Okay, so they're upset with extracting gas from Israel's recognized territorial waters. I mean,
Yeah. Okay, that's just
and again, as I mentioned, we're supposed to just not buy gas from them? Is that the thing? Like, find a shell even when your tank is nearly empty? I mean,
Yeah.
I think you'd be pressed to find a major gas company that doesn't have some, however indirect, connections to Israel. Like,
Yeah, especially because once again, the fact they have oil in the East Mediterranean. Yeah.
exactly.
One thing that make this, one thing that would make this all, one thing that would serve, these people very well and would be good for the entire country, just building nuclear power. Like, genuinely.
Exactly. Again,
So then we don't need.
I mean,
Then we
even
don't
if you
need.
want to
Then we
boycott
don't need.
Israel, that would make it easier to,
Yeah.
not buy gas.
Now, if we build nuclear power, it means we don't need to get oil from all these countries, in order to do stuff like, in order to get electricity. But then again, it would also make
Really? Yeah,
make it
so,
make it harder. It also make it harder for people like these to pressure the United States by cutting off oil. 70s oil crisis.
Oh, yeah. Again, anti-nuclear people don't make sense.
Yeah. Well, that unless you think the U.S. is God-given, destined to support Israel, and you want to punish it for that.
Basically.
Yeah. Well, no, but yeah, seriously, we should build nuclear power, and it would fix a lot of stuff.
Right, that's Chevron, Hikvision.
Yeah. Amnesty International has documented high-resolution CCTV cameras made by Hikvision China, installed in residential areas and mounted to Israeli military infrastructure for surveillance of Palestinians. Some of these models can plug into external facial recognition software. Hey, they actually targeted one company owned by China. Round of applause.
Yep, props for that.
Yeah.
So again, I'm not sure how citizens in the West could boycott a Chinese company.
Yeah. Especially because this website is not in Mandarin at all.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Not a lot the average American can do.
Like, not get surveilled by Hikvision cameras.
Yeah,
them when you see them. I mean,
dude, if only you could make a campaign about not being surveilled by China, like, you'd instantly win like a lot of the U.S.
Yeah, that is how you gain the support of the American people.
Yeah, we're not getting surveilled by China.
Yeah.
Therefore, I don't necessarily think these people would want Americans to not be surveilled, though, given their whole target. But whatever.
But yeah, exactly. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. A TKH Security. Okay, same thing with this company. Okay, they provide cameras to Israel. Like, okay,
and
to be
again,
fair,
how exactly does one boycott a surveillance camera company? Like, commit illegal acts, smash the camera lenses?
To be fair, as I already brought up before, they're targeting people who work at these companies alongside people that buy stuff from these companies. So I can understand it. Also, if this company actually sells stuff in the West, I can kind of understand this if they're like, but then again, I don't really see the point because this company is just going where the business would go. They would almost certainly just buy more from China if they really needed to. Like, okay. Then again, not really. Kind of useless.
Yeah, that's the thing. China is notoriously very pragmatic and mercurial in their foreign policy, and I do not think they would sever ties with Israel for political reasons. And indeed, if other countries were boycotting Israel, China might double down. Extra opportunity to make money, corner that market.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing. The thing is that it's kind of the problem. Other thing with China, I mean, they support Russia as well, which is the other reason you probably didn't say that, but it's why China supports Russia.
Yeah, it's like they're famously ruthless, cold, hard realpolitik types over there.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. And that's the other point. Something to mention. China will say that it supports Palestine, but it still does a lot of business with Israel and probably provides Israel with as much like stuff
Yeah,
as even the U.S. if not more. The thing is that the thing is that America like claims to support Israel like a lot, but China actually sells more to Israel than the United States. And actually, as a matter of fact, China has a long history of doing business with Israel. Actually, from what I read, China in the 80s actually were one of the first. Israel is one of the Western countries that China was like closest to because they used Israel to get around Western sanctions because of the Tiananmen Square stuff at the time. And didn't
yeah,
pretty sure
no,
China
it's an
actually
interesting
used
little fact
Israel.
there.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure China actually used Israel as a Western sanctions buster.
And again, that also shows you something about Israeli foreign policy. They're ruthlessly pragmatic. They're not ideologically committed
Yeah,
to the
the
whole
thing is, yeah,
Western
that's what we can.
democratic world.
Yeah, I don't even think Israel in the U.S. A lot of people in the U.S. are ideologically committed to Israel, but like I don't think Israelis are committed to the U.S. in any way. So
Oh
I
yeah,
mean,
like
they're
again,
more
it's
than
it's
willing
that's
to
a
do business
region
with
where
China or
realpolitik
Russia.
prevails.
Yeah,
Anyway, so those are some security companies. Let's keep going.
yeah. So these are the pressure targets, and I think these are the fast food companies down here.
Or we talked about Google and Amazon. Like, good luck phasing those things out of your life.
Yeah. And also supporting them because they provided AI to the Israeli government. From what I heard, like it's kind of conflicting claims, but like at least Google says they're not actually providing AI to the Israeli military, but they're providing AI to the Israeli government for stuff like their healthcare system. I don't understand why Google would be chosen to provide like AI for the military. That doesn't really make a lot of sense. And I don't even think they do that to the American military. So why would they do it for Israel's military?
Yeah, it makes no sense.
Like
So,
I do have to look this up and like wonder, but like does
like, yeah, you got to
Google?
confirm what they actually do, because it wouldn't make sense to provide such a crucial service to, I mean, a military that takes security very seriously. So they wouldn't place it in the hands of anyone non-trustworthy.
Yeah, apparently a lot of them are actually cooperating or selling stuff to the American military now. So maybe. But then again, I think that the sailing, but like it's kind of weird. It's like I don't think they would sell to a foreign military directly. Like I would have to have evidence on that one.
Yeah, we're gonna have to know a bit more before we
Yeah,
pass
that one's
judgment.
like looking for. Yeah. Airbnb all offer rentals on illegal Israeli settlements. Okay. Well, I don't understand targeting Airbnb when Airbnb literally just sells any property listed on the website. Like Airbnb needs a host in order to sell property, so I don't really think that's gonna do very much.
Yeah, like cause them to refuse offers from hosts in Israeli settlements.
Yeah, I guess, even though I don't see how that would do very much.
Yeah, I kind of doubt that would have much of an effect.
It will not. Okay, the Disney-owned Marvel Studios is promoting in the next Captain America film a superhero that personifies Israel. Both companies are therefore listing anti-Palestinian racism. Um, wasn't the new Superman movie like basically like anti-Israel though? Like, is this actually true? Like,
I mean, yeah, that was one interpretation. I mean, like
How does Captain America glorify Israel? Like, what?
the superhero. What again? Yeah, they need to name which superhero is this exactly. Like, I mean, I know there was a big stink about Gal Gadot playing Wonder Woman, which, I mean, she is Israeli, but
I don't think casting an actor means you actively support the actor's political views. It's like saying casting Tom Cruise in Top Gun means you support the Church of Scientology.
no, yeah, I don't think. And again, I would have to know how exactly does the superhero represent Israel. Like we mentioned, there's an interpretation of the recent Superman movie that it was an anti-Israel one because he stops a U.S. allied country from invading a Middle Eastern looking one.
Yeah, that is kind of fair, but I understand if you're just not gonna go like support a movie that Also, I mean, I understand if you're like it's like, oh, you're not going to support a movie made by Gal Gadot. It's like, okay, that's not totally that's if you take this position, that's understandable. Oh, you're not going to support a movie made by Gal Gadot. Okay, that might actually do something. I mean, I don't think you would support a movie if one of the actors are pro-Russia.
Right. No, that's fair.
So yeah.
It's Disney. Pharmaceutical industries. It's an Israeli company. So yeah, again.
Yeah. Okay, but there's not really much evidence that says they're involved in the Israeli military, though.
Again, yeah, you should really go after military companies first and foremost.
Yeah. So we're gonna go. So we're gonna go down. These are the grassroots targets. These are gonna be. So these are. So apparently these are movements that are not actually initiated by BDS directly, but that they actively endorse.
All right. See? McDonald's.
All right, so yeah, that's like that. These are the fast food companies.
Yeah, here we get
where the title thing is coming. Actually, I'm gonna be back in 1 minute. I have to go get something, and then I'll be right back.
Go ahead.
All right, I'm back. Are you there?
Let's do some memes. Let's Zionist Big Macs.
Zionist Big Macs. Yeah, I think this person in chat was saying that he could apparently explain this in greater detail, but given that he didn't tell me that in chat, I don't know. I warned him.
Playing 2021 memes. Come on.
I warned him that I would kick him out if he didn't say anything, and he's not asking again. So whatever.
Yeah.
All right.
Oof. Recently, McDonald's franchisee in Malaysia has filed a slap lawsuit against solidarity activists.
Okay, so I actually I think there's an explanation as to why they're boycotting McDonald's. I think there. Okay,
Again,
wait. Actually, there is not much information here
yeah,
about. So I think this is actually about it for the list. So I'm gonna go ahead and close the stream. Are you still there?
yeah. No, but again, like to wrap this up, most of those companies are either it's hard for ordinary citizens to boycott them, won't have much
Or
effect,
it's
and
simply,
doesn't
or
really
or
advertise
it's
Israel.
simply, or simply won't be very effective in actually, stopping it because like they're simply like not very important. A lot of those companies are simply not very important to Israel, so I don't see how they could be in any means effective besides Israeli companies themselves and besides like arms companies. Like I don't see how they could be very effective. I just like I've also never seen a successful boycott of people that doesn't have support of their government. So that should be the number one priority if you wanted to stop Israel. Like it's like, and that's how they, and then that's how every single other one of these movements actually became successful. For some reason, these people have this idea that we don't need those rich old white men. We could take these people down if we wanted to. It's like history does not say that.
And it's fundamentally just about virtue signaling in the end. It's a trendy cause. People want to show their support, and they aren't super invested or think there will be much results.
Yeah, it's like I think it's like a lot of people who want to like think they're doing something, and so I think these people give them ammo because they want they sell this stuff to people because these people want to they want to make it as if they're doing more than their friends, so they actively sell this idea that if they boycott these companies, they'll actively be hurting Israel, even if they like truly aren't going to be hurting Israel. So yeah, I think a lot of this is like very ineffective. You know, I think that um my honest opinion on the whole issue is I think that I'm not necessarily a major fan of Israel. I am Jewish, but I never been there. I always identified as American. Never really identified with that country. And also like um I actively think the fact that the war has gone on for like 2 years and they still doing this is like kind of ridiculous. I think that their government is like very incompetent. So, uh, if I in my opinion, I'm not necessarily big on Israel, but the problem is that like I feel like the whole like Israel Palestine thing, as Central Bank said in the past, there's an ability to like rattle up a lot of emotions that other conflicts is not capable of, even deadlier conflicts.
Yeah, it's everyone comes to Israel Palestine with an axe to grind. It's very emotionally charged. It's either seen through the lens of the centuries old Jewish struggle for self determination or the struggle for self determination of peoples of color against white European colonialism. There's just
Yeah.
no neutral way to approach this conflict.
There is, but there's not many people that actually do
Well,
that.
no,
I mean,
but
like,
yeah, there is,
it's not,
but
it's also
people
funny, it's
aren't
also funny
interested.
that half of Israel is like not even white. They're like Mizrahi Jews that came from the
Yeah,
Middle East that were expelled. Um, and also like so I don't really so the thing is that I think that well, I can kind of see why this conflict. Well, I think a lot of people they don't necessarily when they see Israel Palestine, they don't necessarily really care about Palestinians. They see the Israel Palestine conflict as kind of a microcosm of like American politics.
yeah, it's a way to settle scores with political opponents.
Yeah, and so that's
And
how I think a lot of people
again, I
like.
keep coming back to this a way to virtue signal.
Yeah, I think this is both for the it's both for the left and even the Republicans because they both see the Israel Palestine. They both like kind of see themselves in the Israel Palestine conflict because the Republicans
Yeah,
see
no, it's like
the Republicans see
traditionally
a
the Republicans
democratic.
were
Yeah, yeah,
super pro-Israel party, and even
yeah, yeah, yeah.
they,
But I say a lot of people in America they see you know, a lot of people in America see, you know,
Support
Israel
for
in
Israel because they
themselves.
see it as
They,
part of some
you know,
Bible prophecy.
they see Israel as being a democratic country with very similar political system to the United States, and you know, and so they see Israel in America, and a lot of people, you know, they see like, you know, a lot of people on the left, um, they see, you know, the Palestinians as being like an anti-West and being like a non-European group that's fighting against Israel, and so they see themselves within the Palestinians. Now the problem is I don't necessarily think either of these people's characterizations are fully accurate, but that's kind of the point of why I did this in the first place.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's a hard issue to approach neutrally, but we try our best.
Yeah, it actually is. Now, so regardless, with that, I am going to see you all later.
We'll
And
see
that's
you
the end of the
later.
podcast.
Well, take care, and we'll let you know when our next podcast is.
All right,
Take
bye.
care. All right, bye.
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 Bye.